Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Clay from Clay's Collections, and we are back again. Another estate sale haul. Happened to be one not too far from my house, and so I went, and even though they really didn't advertise they had books, they had a ton of books. So that's always good for me since I'm dealing mostly in books at the moment. So it's exciting. And there's one that's a bolo that I will tell you guys about at the end of the video. It's also the most valuable item out of all that I found. And there's a reason for it, which we'll talk about at that time, okay? So let's just hop into this. I pick up books, and I'm specifically talking about books, but it holds true of other items as well, other household items of a local nature. So like I picked up a book, it's called Minnesota, A Cold Love Affair, which is absolutely true. You have to love the cold if you're going to be in Minnesota. Notice it says, we support global warming. Welcome to Minnesota. And that's what it looks like right now. Covered in snow. Oh, plus an official lutefisk etiquette section. Too fun. So anyway, so I picked these up. I put these down at the antique store that I have a booth, which is called the Pink Elephant in downtown Hopkins, Minnesota. If you get a chance, you're in the area, stop on by. A lot of great stuff. So I pick up those. I did find another one, a book of local interest, Women's History Tour of the Twin Cities by Karen Mason and Carol Lacey. And what's interesting is I do believe that is an autographed copy, at least by one of the authors. This is from 1982, so it's another local item. I don't know if I'll add it to my autographed book collection or put it up for sale. I haven't decided yet. Either one works. And then I also pick up odd books that are just unusual. A Kosher Christmas. That was a little odd. It says, we wish you a kosher Christmas. Now, there happened to be very large amount of Jewish and Jewish scholarship books and stuff like that. So I believe that it was a Jewish household, and but they also had a lot of Bibles and Christian literature. So I'm, sometimes it's, you can't categorize things. They had obviously a very broad interest in the amount of books they had. Then I also pick up young adult readers, children's books that are historical in nature or, would have some appeal, which is Harriet Tubman, obviously famous historical figure, and it's in great condition. And again, I don't, I sell these for $2 to $3, but I just like having a good variety of books for which people can pick from. Now, the other thing at the this last Halloween, like this last October, yes, October, but what holidays in October? Halloween, that's it. The main item I sold were Halloween children's books. So I'm not sure if people are using them for decoration, if they're, buying them to read to their kids or what. But I do pick them up when I find them. And so it's The Witch Who Was Afraid of Witches. So that's a fun one. And then this was an interesting one. I can't find any comparables. This is State and Revolution. It's the Little Lenin Library. Now this one says it's number 14, volume 14. State and Revolution. So they had a whole collection of 36 books. They're basically the writings and speeches of Lenin. So I'm sure there'll be somebody looking for something like that. This is an interesting book. It's a young adult book, I think. Anyway, it's My Son the Samurai. I really don't know. You don't look. Yeah, I'm not sure, but it was unusual, so I bought it. Again, I can't find any information online about this book. And I didn't spend a lot of time. There's some ways, which is one of the videos I wanted to do one of these days. It's going to be how to research items online, particularly books, if you're looking for, well, you know, like you go to your regular thing like eBay, what do you find on eBay, or you go to another book source like eBooks or something like that. But there's other ways to find information on them as well, especially when you get into the more obscure books. And that's what I kind of want to cover in a video coming up here soon. So this one is the 5 Megalothan Jonah. This one is not a book that's worth a lot as far as dollar amount, but it was, there's a letter in here. This was given as a gift for a confirmation in 1975. So there you go. That's fun. An Economic Interpretation of the Constitution of the United States. Another interesting book as far as I find political books somewhat, but this is a different bent. It's an economic interpretation. So it's a different slant, and it does have some value. It's, you know, $10 to $20 on that particular book. I am running out of Nancy Drew books at the Pink Elephant. People are looking for this particular series, which is the 1960s to 70s series. And I'm having trouble finding them now because everybody's looking for them. But I did happen to find one. I paid $1 for it. Oh, I didn't say that. The books at this estate sale, antique books were $5. Hardcovers were $1. Soft covers were 50 cents. Now because I bought so many, she gave me a deal. Oh, I forgot. I will insert a picture because I was looking through, they had a whole box of sheet music. So I started looking through that and happened to be close to the checkout, and a lady yells across, "I'll sell you the whole box for $5. And I was like, I'd already picked out 2 pieces. So I'm like, for $3 more to get all of it? Okay, I'll do that. So I got a whole, I mean, literally, you'll see the picture. Big box of sheet music. Then I picked up this one, C.S. Lewis, the collection of works. So this has 3 of his books that he wrote in this particular collection. Again, this is a $10 book. Let's see, oh yes, that's the good book. And again, on the kind of the Halloween theme, another theme that sells really well for me is like horror stories. Edgar Allan Poe books just seem to fly off the shelf. So this one is a selections from Poe. It is more in a textbook style, probably used in classrooms, you know, as a literature book. This is from 1907. It's not in the best of shape. It's got writing in it, pencil. Somebody put their name on the front. But still, the body of the pages are in really good condition. Then this was the big one, and it's called Founders of Freedom. It's basically just a history book of America. It's leather bound. It's a really nice edition. It's worth like $15. And then there's this one, Tales from Shakespeare. Now this book is published in many iterations. This is the Charles and Mary Lamb version. It's not in the best of condition. And somebody scribbled all over it with pencil, which is, you know, cleanable. But this one is a special printing because it's a special leather binding, gold gilding along the edges. And so that's also what I look for. Is it a special publishing as opposed to just a hardback? You know, you'll find these Tales from Shakespeare in the hardback with canvas covers or linen covers quite frequently. But to find one in a special leather, this leather has a heavy texture to it, almost a wood finish texture, as well as the gold embossing. So that's why I picked it up, just because it's a little special edition. Okay, now here's the bolo. And when I checked out, the lady running the sale was like, "Oh, I didn't see that. If I'd have seen that, I would have got it." So she charged me $1 for it. It's this. It is a Sherwin-Williams Color Harmony Guide. Now this particular color guide is from 1968. So this is basically a paint book. So they'd have this, you know, at the paint counter when you're getting paint, and it would help you pick out different colors. So if you want to paint your trim in one color, your walls in another, your door another, this is the, you know, palette of colors that you could select from that would be harmonious as a collective. And what they did was they would put these on pages so that you can see what those colors go, and then you flip the page, then you'll see another set of colors. So every time you flip the page, it's another example. And the reason this is like a $70 book. It's in excellent condition. And it's 1968. And the reason these can be so popular is because when people have a mid-century modern house, they are looking, if they're wanting to be authentic, they are looking for these kinds of guides, or even designers are looking for these kinds of guides to help select colors, you know, to be a historically accurate reproduction, if you will, or restoration, depending upon what they're going for. So that's why they get popular. And there's not that many of these. Now, while there may have been thousands of them at one time in the stores, they would print these every year, so they'd chuck them out. The store would chuck them out for the next year because they got an updated one, so they didn't need these, right? So that's why there's not a lot of them. That's just, in fact, there's only one listed on eBay at the moment for that particular book. So be on the lookout for old paint books that give, you know, or the other thing is wallpaper sample books, particularly, you know, mid-century time or older. Those can have great value as well because people are looking for that to restore or, you know, replicate that in their house or in their designs if they're a designer. So anyway, that's our haul. Hope you guys are doing well. Catch you next time.